I'm walking you through a super simple but extremely effective piano practice session today. This is the exact practice blueprint you've seen me use throughout this YouTube challenge, and today I'm walking you through step by step. Let's start our warm-up in the key of A minor. A minor has 0 sharps and flats in the key signature, so that means you're only going to be playing notes on the white keys. So the A minor natural scale is A to A on the white keys. Notice that my thumb is crossing under after I play finger 3 on to D. You can also try this in your other hand. And notice that in the left hand, the thumb is on the note E. If you've played scales hands together before, you can try this one hands together as well. And if you're used to doing more than one octave, you can actually do 2 octave scales hands separately or hands together. If you're fairly comfortable with the fingering of the A minor natural scale, you can also try the contrary motion scale, in which you start with 2 thumbs on the same note, or A in this case, and they play in contrary or opposite motion for 1 octave and then back. I'm going to show you how to modify the natural minor scale to become a harmonic minor scale. You're going to raise the 7th note of the scale, which is G, by 1 semitone, or half step. The G now becomes G sharp. Practice these 2 scales, or if you're more comfortable, stick with the A minor natural version. And when you're done doing that a few times, you can add on the triads. A triad just means a chord with 3 notes, and in A minor, the triad is A, C, E. So we skip a note in between each note of the triad. You can practice triads simply by playing them in solid and broken form in this position, which is root position. Or you can play the notes in inversions up to the next root position. In these inversions, I'm still playing the notes A, C, and E, but they're simply being inverted into different orders. I'll demonstrate the broken triads for you in the left hand. An optional part of your warm-up can include arpeggios, which are similar to broken triads, but sort of a long broken triad. So I'm playing all of the notes within the A minor triad, and it goes all the way up 2 octaves to an A at the top, and then back down. So that's your simple warm-up. If you find that you're very familiar with these things already and would like a few additional challenges, I would encourage you to try 2 octave instead of 1 octave chords, hands together instead of hands separately, and you could also add in a chromatic scale. Let's move on now to our musicianship portion. I'm going to give you an easy improv exercise to do today, and we're going to start with the left hand playing an open 5th, again in A minor position, so A and E together. You can think of your left hand as playing whole notes that are repeated. And the right hand is the one that will do a little bit of improv today. We're going to play around with some notes that are in A minor and try to come up with a little bit of a melody. And really you can start on any note. I usually start on the tonic or A. Really you can make up any rhythm that you like. I like to keep it simple, especially at first, because I don't think that melodies need to be too complicated to sound nice. I'm going to start my left hand and then my right hand's going to come in. If you want to take this exercise to the next level, instead of using notes from the natural minor scale, like we did in our warm-up today, let's take notes from the harmonic minor scale, which instead of a G natural, includes a G sharp. So you can give that a try as well. See which version you like better, whether you like the natural minor or the harmonic minor version better, and try to think about how they sound different and why they might sound different. The new piece that we're starting today is also in A minor, which makes it go really well with our musicianship and warm-up exercise, so it all sort of ties together. One way I know how to identify the key of this piece is the lack of key signature. So there's 0 sharps and flats here, and that tells me that it's going to likely be in C major or A minor, the two keys that have 0 sharps or flats. So I like to start a new piece by first trying to figure out what key it's in, looking at the time signature. This one's in 4/4 time, so 4 quarter note beats per bar, and then sort of looking at the whole thing and seeing what else sort of pops out to me. So here I see it says with a sense of fun, so I know it's kind of a lighthearted piece. There's also a marking here that says play all quarter notes detached. So I know that all of the quarter notes in both hands are going to be played staccato and not legato. I've circled at one of the tenuto markings here, which looks like a long dash, and you'll find that above some of the other notes in this piece, which means to play it with a little bit more emphasis and hold the note for its full value. Now let's set some goals for this practice session and decide how many measures we want to work on today from which part of the piece. The left hand notes are A and E, and I would play that with a finger 5 and 1, the same as the A minor triad, and that repeats for the first 2 measures. Then I noticed in measure 3 that my thumb is going to go up to an F, and then it goes back down here to the same notes as the beginning. So you heard how I played all of the quarter notes in a detached way. I'm going to say the counts without the ands and clap the rhythm of the right hand so that I can learn the rhythm before playing the notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Measures 3 and 4 have the same rhythm as measures 1 and 2. So did you hear how I detached the quarter notes? And then on the half notes with the tenuto, I tried to place a little bit more emphasis on those. So we got a really good, effective practice session in today. In just 15 minutes, we did a super simple warm-up, an improv exercise that boosted our musicianship skills, and we started on a brand new piece and got about 4 measures in. We learned both hands separate, and we are ready to continue on with that piece tomorrow in our next practice session.